And we are back with another episode of Ark Survival Evolved with Jakai here. Alright, so we have to be very quiet to not wake the egg. That's right, you got the egg. Okay, so I went and tamed the male, he was 68, and the female 107. They're different levels now, which is fine. So, this is my taming rig. This was a lot of questions I had for myself, and there was a lot of things I did. I just couldn't figure it out, and now I think I know how to do this. So, for anybody who has any questions, I'll actually change the title of this video isn't going to be part 3. It's actually going to be ACs and how they work, or something like that. Something like that. I don't know. All right, so this is what I did. For every AC unit you have, it gives you hyperthermal and hypothermal. Gives you about 100 or so for each. So what does that mean? So if your degrees, if you see the bottom top left, is 68 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm American. Fahrenheit up in the top left corner, as you can see there. The Rex X, you can find this on the internet, and also if you didn't have the let's say the internet existed or anything like that, how would you know? It says there incubating right there. If I take this egg outside and it's too hot, it will say too hot. If I take it out and it's lower than the degree it's needed, it will say too cold. So you would figure that out, and when it says incubating, it means you hit the right temperature. So the eggs, Rex eggs, are 90 degrees Fahrenheit and 32 degrees Celsius, I believe, or between 30 degrees Celsius to hatch, to start hatching. So this is what happens. So when you have one of these, it'll only change your hypothermal and hyperthermal insulation by 100. So that also affects the degrees outside. I believe it affects it by 2 or by 10 or whatnot. But what it mostly does is the hypothermal and hyperthermal that you have kind of gets transferred to the egg here. So but it gives it 100 to each one, which means that you, with enough AC units, you can make a area which is next to the AC units that can hatch any egg you need. I have, I believe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 2 back there. You see that? 1, 2. So I have 3, 6, 7, 8 ACs. I was going for 11, but I wanted to see if this would work first, and it seemed to work fine. So now he's incubating. If I had another Rex egg or a Scorpion egg, whatever it is, with these many ACs, I could just drop it here as well. It doesn't matter. With this many ACs, it makes the perfect temperature regardless of where it is. So you don't need campfires. You do not need campfires. You do not need anything. Penguins, you don't need anything else. If you're able to make the ACs. If you're unable to make the ACs, then yes, you're gonna have to use campfires, or if you can only afford 1 AC, you're gonna have to use campfire to make it hotter. Now, this is a rule that I've learned that kind of makes sense to me, that it is a lot easier to warm up a place than it is to cool down a place. So that being said, if you have an egg that needs to be in the very cold and you're in the warm, you're gonna have a lot of trouble trying to insulate it completely. Honestly, at that point you're gonna have to go to the snow to hatch it. There is no ifs, ands, or buts at that point. So to me, it's easier to hatch an egg in a very cold place, and then from that point on, go ahead and make it a little bit warmer until you hit that perfect degree. I will go ahead and show you what it takes to make a AC unit, which I believe is, to me, wasn't really too expensive, but you're gonna need a fabricator. First of all, you're gonna need access to electricity, which needs a generator. You need gasoline to power the generator. You need outlets and metal cables, and then at that point you will Oops, sorry. So we're gonna go over here, structures, electric, and so I could still make 6. Okay, so what you're gonna need here is about 80 metal ingots, 15 electronics, 5 polymer, and 15 crystal. So it's not wildly expensive, but when you start getting better and being able, there's a Bronto outside my base, being able to, you know, go ahead and get these items a little bit more stacked, you can make as many as I made, and that will help you definitely a lot more with the temperature you need for the egg. So those are like any, you know, anything. That's what I figured out. It was trial and error. Things I had to figure out. Things you have to do one by one. Things you have to see within your own hypothermia, stuff like that. So that's the kind of environment I saw that it created when I had it on, when I had it off. If you have fireplaces, campfires on, a bunch of them, so when I first tried this, I didn't have any AC units, and what I tried to do, the area that I was in was 70 degrees, and so I had to get it to 90. So I literally made 15 of the campfires is what I made. And when I made 15 of the campfires, it only put it up 4 degrees higher. I was indoors, which does affect what you're doing with your temperatures. Being indoors does affect that. And it was brutal. I had like 15. There was a blazing fire icon on the bottom left, and I destroyed them all. But it was incredible, and the egg was still not incubating. It was too cold for the egg, so I just couldn't get it to work. I started looking at the AC units. I made 3 at first. It was working, but the health of the egg was dropping. So it was incubating, but it wasn't the correct. It was the lowest of the temperature it could be. So I got at that point I started just throwing as many as I could, and then I realized that the AC units have an AOE effect. It's not. The egg being here doesn't affect it, or does affect it. The closer you are to the AC unit, the different installations you get. You see how mine just went up 1010 833. Now if I go over here, it changes to 8723. It changes. It has an AOE. So you want the egg as close as possible, but it doesn't have to be encumbered by the egg. You'll see designs where people put a row of ACs here and then a row of ACs here, and so that you have the egg in the middle. It's still affected by those up there. These have like a little AOE, so it, no matter what, is as close as it can to the AC, that affects the egg. And you can make enough ACs and you can't go over. What that means is if you have 8 ACs and you go to 10 ACs, it's not going to make the egg too cold, too hot. Once you hit that perfect number, adding more will just give you a peace of mind. At this point, I could leave the egg and not think about it, but I decided to make a little video and show that. So this will be a little short video that I'm gonna post of just the egg. Hopefully it answers any questions on egg and AC, you know, what to do, what not to do. But yes, the best thing to do for egg without thinking about it, sweet, is just simply get the AC units and you will be okay. Honestly, that's what it goes. This is the male that we tamed. This is Ruthless. Right here. Oh. This is him right here. This is the saddle we gave him. I think his is yellow and black. No, it's green and black. The black is on top, but yeah, it's green and black. That's what we gave him. But I take it off when I'm not really paying attention. I don't want somebody to fly over my base, see it, and then be like, hey, that's worth a steal, and then I get raided. I have pretty good defense, but I still would rather not fight than to fight. So I will be hatching the egg. I'm not sure if I'm doing it tonight, because once you hatch the egg, you still have 9 hours to take care of that child, or the little baby, and I want to make sure that I'm here for that. So I'm going to, at the last minute, take it out and put it in the refrigerator. The egg's health bar, as you saw, I'll go back to it, but the egg's health bar does go down. It only goes down when it's out of your inventory. If it is in your inventory or in a refrigerator or in a box, it does not go down, or into an animal's inventory, it does not go down. It only goes down when it's in the wrong temperature and it's not in your inventory. It goes down. So that being said, you can take this egg right here. I could take this egg, pick it up, fertilized egg, and throw this into the, oops, sorry, well, that has to go in there anyways. There you go. And narcotic. I like to eat my stuff in here. And so there it is, fertilized raptor egg, and it still keeps, you see the egg, the health stays the same. So I pick it up, I'm gonna go right back. Remember that you have to drop it down. Do not put this egg in your hot bar or you might eat it. And the incubation stays the same. So I can pick it up and start whenever I want. It is still incubating. And so what I'm gonna do, hopefully I have time. I have to find out my schedule. But, ooh, that was a little long. Let's try like this. There we go, closer. There we go. And so that's how we're gonna do it with the incubation. Going in. There it is. So I'll keep it closer, and when it gets to that little slither, that little 4-second slither that might happen, I'll pick it up real quick and put it in the refrigerator, and then I will make a video when I have the time to go through the life of the child and explain how that works on a separate video. So that's a quick little video, and I will put up a video in a little bit. I'll probably go out hunting if you like this video. Go ahead and leave a like, and if it's your first time here, which would be anybody's first time here, go ahead and subscribe for more Ark Evolved. Check it out.